And we're back with Duel 5 of the Guilty Gear lore. We can notice that the videos are getting longer the closer we get to Strive. And it feels like it's covering less, which honestly is a good thing. More details, more characters, more interactions. Can't wait to get into it.
Ramlethal Valentine has been defeated only 1 week after her declaration of war. In Babylon,
Damn.
Well, at least it lasted longer than the shortest war ever.
A week of war. Yeah, a week of war is still war. Like,
well, she was the only one at war too against the entire world. So yeah, the fact that she lasted that long was also pretty impressive already. I forget the stats for like the shortest war ever recorded in history. Was it like what 6 minutes long, something like that? I don't know. I think it was like, yeah, I think it was like some sort of question in Persona 4 Golden, and that's why I remembered it. It was like, damn, that was really short.
Strange gray ash is raining from the sky, and the once bustling city is now a deserted wasteland.
RIP.
With no survivors found, but all structures still intact, the world watches on in confusion.
Oh, this was the city where she blew up the thing and all the people got vaporized, and you commented on how that lady got vaporized but first. I think last video, if you remember that.
I have no memory of that. Sounds awesome.
No, really? You don't remember it? You said that it was like the symbol of the Dark Signers from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds.
Oh, yeah, I do remember
that. There you go.
Why didn't you say so? You bring back my good buddy Coco Paco. I'll remember that.
Oh my god.
Some believe it to be Ramlethal's doing. Others say
honestly,
it's caused by a change
as to how bad my memory is. I think it might actually be a problem.
We kind of already all knew this. Don't worry about it, Serby. We'll remind you whenever you forget your name.
St. Elmo's fire. But only a select few realize the truth.
Yes.
If it's St. Elmo's fire, is that not just the meme?
Well, you said the exact same joke last time. You can't re-say that. You literally told me, hey, Zero, when you edit the video, use the Elmo meme. And I did. I did. Oh my god.
10. The cradle has awakened.
God damn, I have no memory of the last video, apparently.
Oh no. Oh, here we go. The true evil. But first,
I really thought we cut to an ad now. Dang.
Oh, but first, sponsored by so and so and so. Get ready to rock. I mean, it's officially sponsored by the company, so yeah, ain't nothing like that going here. Xrd sign. The Cradle incident.
Guilty Gear Xrd sign. Story mode.
So I played through all
moments before
and Xrd Rev 2 is the one that I have, and I played through all the story mode. I don't remember anything though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't expect you to. Don't worry. This was happening before Rev 2, I believe.
I don't know, like, what story... Because there's so many different Xrds. Is the story different between all of them?
Well, let's see here. We have VXT, we have Xrd, we have Xrd Sign, we have Xrd Revelator, we have Xrd Rev 2. From what I've seen in the comments, it's basically an expansion upon the previous story and like adding characters and stuff. So I would assume it continues from the previous one, like a sequel, but also like a DLC.
Yeah, I thought it was like you have the base still, and then there's just a little bit more. So like everything that was in the first Xrd, I imagine I saw, and then everything up to Rev 2, I don't know.
I mean, considering that this is the 5th video and then there's a bunch of other Xrds after this, I would assume that there's like about an hour of lore to cover in each new one. So yeah. I think that's a safe assumption to say that there's new story, for sure.
Ramlethal's declaration of war on October 21st. She meets with the Conclave to see if they're mentally prepared to proceed with the common goal of activating the cradle.
Mentally prepared.
Libraria has doubts because of the projected casualty count, but Axis chides her, emphasizing that there isn't enough time to make humanity understand. Libraria concedes that the Conclave only exists because of what they intend to do today.
I mean, all the other mortal beings are too stupid to understand our grand revelation that we will save them by conquering the entire world. So yeah, let's just get rid of them. They'll never understand. No need to explain.
Yeah, nothing like a clean state to make the world in your image.
Yes, because, you know, you don't have any sort of god complex or anything like that. No.
Cronus then signals the beginning of the last dawn. Days later, following the destruction of Babylon, King Leo Whitefang is scrambling to get search and rescue efforts underway when he's contacted by King Kai Kisk, requesting approval for temporary release of Elfelt Valentine. Leo declines, so Kai decides to act alone to authorize her release.
This is the one that I said Kiwi would like.
Elfelt's constraints are removed, and she immediately deploys from Kai's Royal Fleet 1 airship. Within seconds, she's able to nullify Ramlethal's self-destruct attack on Sol and subdue her.
No, I do remember this. This was definitely the one I played.
I see.
Elfelt, like her sister Ramlethal, are creations beholden to Mother, just like the original Valentine of Baptisma 13. Unlike the others, however, Elfelt was born with no knowledge of her true mission up until her memories were unlocked on the day of her wedding. Finding herself at odds with her programmed role to bring about human omnicide, she decides to leave her fiancé, a death metal vocalist, at the altar. She then finds Kai.
Well, I guess it's not Guilty Gear unless you have one of those quotable lines that you'll never hear elsewhere. She then leaves her fiancé, a death metal vocalist, at the altar. God dang. Poor guy. He probably scream out his heart out.
And chooses to warn him of the coming dangers instead. We flash back to a research lab in 2014. Arya asks Frederick if he's ever wanted to be a bird. He says no, but flying would be cool, so why not a cockroach?
What?
Arya calls him unromantic.
What is this conversation? I mean, I guess the bird question is kind of fine, like, if you don't have literally anything else to talk about. Or, you know, if you're wondering about freedom, or, like, flying to the sky, but a cockroach?
Yeah.
Seriously, dude.
Yeah. It's like, nah, but, you know, flying would be cool. So, you know, the most iconic flying thing out there.
The cockroach.
Cockroach, yeah. It can be a cockroach.
But, dude, the flying cockroaches are so scary. Like, I don't mind the crawling ones, but the moment they flap their wings.
I have not interacted with a flying cockroach, thank God. I could not.
Asuka arrives, and the conversation shifts towards human experiences. What would you do?
I guess Batman doesn't like the flying cockroaches either.
If the world was going to disappear tomorrow? Frederick replies, "Stop whatever's ending the world, or die trying."
Hey.
Arya then says, "You mean spend it with someone you love?"
What? No! I'm gonna stop the world from ending! What are you talking about, woman?
Yeah. If I stop the world from ending, then we have the rest of our lives together.
Exactly! Big brain! He's a man of the future.
On this one.
Yes!
A year later, in 2015, Frederick celebrates the creation of Asuka's stabilized gear cells and the end of human illness. But Asuka's concerned about them being weaponized. They agree that they'd rather destroy the research than allow that to happen. Asuka tries to tell Frederick something about Arya, but the moment passes.
Oh my god.
Another year later,
of course.
in 2016, Frederick discovers Arya's terminal illness. She doesn't want him to drop everything and find a cure, nor put her in cryosleep. She just wants to not be alone and spend her time with Frederick.
Well, you know what Frederick's gonna do.
In Bedman's dream world, he analyzes the history of Soul Bad Guy and reports to his unknown client that he finds him
I
fascinating.
really like that. Man.
Shortly
He's really
afterward,
funny.
The fact that he can like access their dreams and whatnot gives him such a massive edge on everybody. Well, maybe specifically their nightmares, because he knows exactly what they fear, and I guess their tragic backstory that he can use to poke and prod at them. Which also makes a lot of sense that he like talks so much in a dream world, because he probably has a ton of information just constantly flowing through him. So he's like on overdrive at all times.
Yeah, that's true. Imagine how chaotic that power would be, though. Is you can analyze everyone's dreams. The mental fortitude to kind of decipher everything that's happening and be like, yeah, this is dream nonsense. This is real information.
Oh, well, it'd be like diving into everybody's somnium over and over again and trying to interpret it. Impossible! We can never do that.
Unknown client that he finds him fascinating. Shortly afterward, alone, he ambushes a gathering of Slayer, Milia Rage, and Venom, who have decided to report their intel on the Cradle to Illyria. Bedman's client notices that he's having fun fighting assassins and notes the similarity between him and his sister, Delilah. Bedman is displeased at the topic, but reiterates that his sister is the reason they must create an absolute world.
The little sister, Delilah, we see in Strive, right? She inherits the bed? Okay.
She has the bed, yeah.
Aboard Royal Fleet 1, Sol,
Kaduki.
Kai, and Sin hear the radio reporting a Babylon cover story crediting the Illyrian forces, keeping the existence of Elfelt a secret. Some of the public believe the catastrophe might have been caused by St. Elmo's fire, a naturally occurring giant lightning bolt that strikes once every 13 years. It's celebrated for once saving several members of the Holy Order during the Crusades, as it struck a group of gears, giving humanity the upper hand. To prevent it from causing massive casualties in a populated area, Illyria Castle itself was built to be a massive lightning rod to attract it.
Of course!
Elfelt further explains the truth about the Conclave to Kai, Sol, and Sin. Ramlethal escapes her interrogation room and threatens to destroy the ship itself, but Elfelt once again nullifies her abilities, as they are sisters with similar programming. Without any ability to fight back, all Ramlethal can do is talk. Sin, who quickly becomes friends with Elfelt, attempts to reach out to Ramlethal's emotional side as well, and gives her a mage hound, a magical puppy.
My guy just materialized a puppy.
Look, hey, it's Sin. He can do what he wants. Honestly, that's like the best superpower ever. Imagine a shonen protag, instead of using Talk no Jutsu, just uses materialized dog and gives every single villain a dog. The world would be a better place.
You can't be a villain if you have cute puppy.
Sol warns Sin that these Valentines aren't human, aren't to be trusted, and to expect betrayal. Sin doesn't care, and points out that Sol's just projecting his own insecurities.
Dang!
Meanwhile,
Sin's a real one
King
here.
Leo Whitefang debriefs U.S. President Vernon on the captured Valentines. Not long afterwards, the Cradle is detected reappearing over the Black Sea. A transmission comes in from Major Lyle of the Istanbul Battalion, en route to Babylon. They're near enough to have a visual on the target. King Leo commands him to approach cautiously and only provide intel, but Major Lyle defies the order and goes on full offensive.
Dang it, Lyle. And he's gonna die.
The Cradle activates again, and its energy sphere engulfs the area.
Dead.
Johnny contacts Foss for help with May's unknown ailment, which appears to only be affecting Japanese people. Faust looks at her patient.
This ailment is racist. What the heck?
Yeah, what?
And realizes that Japanese colony residents have been receiving a placebo instead of correct treatment.
What?
May, in the meantime, distraught after
mind, someone
Ramlethal
else
called
is
her a
racist.
disease, decides to leave home to keep her friends safe. But Chip convinces her to return. As they reunite with the jellyfish pirates, Bedman appears, having defeated the assassins single-handedly.
Well, that's a familiar face. Those are familiar thighs, I should say.
Johnny and Chip are about to lose when Zato interferes, saving them. Bedman escapes.
Imagine getting your ass kicked by someone's bed frame while they're sleeping.
It's like the most ridiculous thing ever, but it's also on par with everything else that we've seen, so like I didn't even question it.
Ino brings Axel Low to the backyard, where he meets Asuka, and
poor Axel is just getting dragged across the universe by Ino, and he's like, bro, I just want to go home. He's like, she was doing that to him last episode too. This guy. Axel for president. IMO.
Yeah.
delivers a message from the original, as it can only be heard by the intended recipient.
Bruh. That's a lot of PlayStation inputs.
It's indecipherable noise, but Asuka understands it, and thanks Axel by offering some sweets to go with his tea, with flavors that can only be experienced in the backyard.
Awesome.
Axel, fearful, politely declines and asks to leave,
no
wondering
kidding.
how the man behind Justice and the Crusades could be so polite. Bonding over their unusual parental situations, Elle tells Sin that if he ever feels like calling Kai Dad someday, he should do it. She then explains that her mother is not a real person, but actually an implanted concept she's programmed to obey.
How complicated is your family tree? Alpha was like, yes. Like, what are you supposed to say? So, my mother is a complex concept that cannot be comprehended by the human mind. Okay.
Her abilities allow her to find people with the right code, like Soul or Sin. But when she ran away from her mission and used it, it somehow led her to Kai instead. 2074, the day Justice awakens. At a relaunched Gear project facility, Asuka looks on during a test activation of Justice when something goes horribly wrong. An entity from within the backyard attempts to make contact. It was identical to the dawn of revival, except this time, the manifestation of a divine will now had a perfect vessel to birth itself into, no longer confined to electronics. Suddenly, the information density detected within Justice spikes to the equivalent of a galaxy cluster. Within seconds, using DNA data acquired from Justice, the being begins replicating additional bodies by the hundreds, simultaneously manifesting them into reality in her immediate surroundings, floating above Japan.
Damn.
Asuka realizes that at this rate of replication, within the hour, humanity will be lost. Calling out to Justice as Aria, he tells her that he's switching to manual override, charges her gamma ray to maximum output plus 40, and gives the command to fire. His lab tech says this will vaporize the entire country, and can't bring herself to do it. Asuka apologizes for asking her, and fires it himself.
And there goes Japan.
Arya screams in confusion as a blinding light engulfs everything. Kai receives a secret data log from Leo.
Well,
it's revealed
you could say they kind of messed up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
That Major Lyle's battalion inexplicably survived the cradle, and
What?
that their attacks were deflected by Absolute Defense Felion, an extremely specialized spell that repels everything physical and magical.
Feels like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
It kind of does sound like a Yu-Gi-Oh card name, yeah.
That can only be performed by the Sanctus Maximus or a Conclave member. Kai decides it isn't safe to discuss further plans until they're out of reach from Conclave surveillance, in the one place off the grid, Zep. Sol disagrees with Kai's methods, to which Kai then asks Sol bluntly if he's only after revenge, and if he sincerely doesn't care what happens to the rest of the world.
お前は本当にあの男に復讐を果たすためだけに私たちと行動を共にしている
I
の
mean,
か
Sol's a pretty simple guy.
なんだ急に。
知りたいんだ。お前は本当に世界の運命に興味がないのか。
つまらねえことを聞くな。
つまらなくなどない。確かにお前はあの男に改造を施され
I think Kai's fair to ask that.
I mean, it is fair, but you also know that Sol's gonna answer in one way, but he obviously feels the another way, so like, yeah.
Yeah.
だがそれで心や魂まで変化が起きてるわけではないはずだ。
はあ？だからなんだ？
お前を信じたいんだ。最後にはきっと人々の剣となって戦ってくれるのだと。
Such a Shonen protagonist
何を言い
line.
出すのかと思えば笑わせるな。
Sol says he exists to kill all gears and that man. Kai asks what makes his wife and child so different. Why not destroy them? Sol says the conversation's over, but Kai tells him that he can't run from the truth.
加減にしろ。叩きのめされてか。
Oh,
やってみろ。
oh my.
上等だ。
Sol threatens Kai. Kai tells him to try. He then asks him, what comes next after revenge? Sol says he doesn't think that far ahead.
Yeah, he's a
Kai
simple
tells Sol
guy.
that he knows nothing about
It's always that question with any character that has revenge as their motive. What next?
Mhm.
What after that?
Yeah.
I think a series that tackles this incredibly well is actually Vinland Saga. But, well, I can't really speak about it because Serbi has yet to see it. I do recommend
Sure.
anybody who hasn't seen it, though, to check it out, or check out the manga, at least. It's really good, with how, like, it completely shifts the direction the show initially goes in, and people expect from it.
I am usually not a huge fan of revenge plots for these exact reasons, because I feel
Mhm.
like it's really predictable in that the protagonist pretty much always goes on the same path set, and it's not what I enjoy very much.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate when a story can use that and then subvert it or mix it up.
I think it's an experience that can certainly provide some pretty good life lessons, and if used as a tool in order to convey something that the author wishes to convey in a different way, then yeah, it can work very well. But if it's, just like having revenge for the sake of having revenge and having it be fun and like cool and whatever, it's just kind of it doesn't really scratch that itch for me. There are literally actually just some manga or stories out there that are just basically revenge. Well, I can't even say that word on YouTube, but you know what I want to say.
I know what I'm saying. I mean, that was the reason I wasn't super into Oshinoko either, because, yeah.
Yeah, from what I hear, though, it's not really the entirety of it, but you do have to get through that first part, though. Which, yeah. For anybody not into it, it's gonna be a bit of a drag.
About his past, or even his real name. But tomorrow always comes. And when it does, Sol has a home with his family.
気持ち悪いことを言うな。
気持ち悪い。
頭でも打った。
さあな。ジャスティスの子であるディジーをめとったんだ。きっと私も普通ではないのさ。
It's like the ultimate FU to justice. Marry her daughter. Oh, man.
Sin and El spend more time with Ramlethal in the interrogation room, and eventually get her to open up by introducing a hamburger from fast food Danny Missiles.
There it is. The burger to change all villains. Wow. The origin story. Here we go! Oh my god, her
Over
face
time,
here is so
they
cute.
grow closer. Elle thanks Sin for what he's doing.
And her puppy.
but asks why he's
I think we even see the puppy in Strive, don't we? In like her winning screen or whatever, a puppy.
Do we?
Yeah, it clambers
I
over.
didn't notice that. That'd be awesome.
I think so, yeah.
attempting to befriend an enemy. Sin explains
If you-
that he empathizes with
Is there like a fast food chains burger that you think could change your alignment if you were evil?
Ooh, that's difficult to say because whenever I eat burgers, it's mostly homemade. It's hard to
True.
find any good from like a fast food chain. It's mostly the like self-run restaurants from people who really know how to make burgers that are really, really good. I can't recall
That's
the last
true,
time I
yeah.
had one.
I mean, mostly same, but some of the best burgers I've had have been from like just small, like independently owned restaurant people,
Mhm.
like diners. But like if I had to pick a fast food burger, Sonic has like smash burgers that are really good. Maybe that one.
I'm not familiar with Sonic, but I've heard of the franchise before. Don't think there's any over here in Asia.
We only got them here in Washington like recently.
Really? Okay. And wait, is it a
They
recent
weren't
fast
here-
food chain?
I don't think so, but like when I was a kid, we didn't have them.
I see. Well, everybody in the comment section can tell us how wrong we are and what your favorite hamburgers are.
with the feeling of being thought of as a tool or a machine that has to suppress its emotions to not be abandoned. President Gabriel personally receives Kai and Sol as they arrive at Zep. He informs them that an unexpected
Whoa, look at that nose! Are you Igor's cousin?
Damn, you got the schnoz.
Oh my god.
guest, Zato 1, arrived earlier and is currently waiting to speak to them. Zato 1 explains that he's only alive due to the machinations of the Conclave, and thanks to that, he can shed light on their motives. They control the cradle, and inside the cradle is the body of the god of destruction, Justice. Evidently, since the Conclave aren't satisfied with already covertly controlling the world politically, their goal must be a world where they control all free thought as well.
Oh
The
my
resurrection
god.
of Justice, who has already demonstrated the power to globally mind
If you
control an
control
entire
free thought, it's not really free thought anymore.
Yeah, true. Although it is kind of scary to think that there are actually people out there who wouldn't mind gaining that amount of power. They wish they
Yeah.
could do this. And it's like, oh god. I hope those people never get the chance to.
higher species might allow them to accomplish this. The resurrection experiment with Zato and Eddie taught them how to bind their own soul to her body and assume full control. The possibilities of this plan strike Sol, Kai, and Gabriel as dangerously plausible. But just then, they receive a report that Bedman has infiltrated Zep by his lonesome.
Oh god.
織物に着人の手を借りたとあってはゼップの名折れだ。皆事が済むまでゼップ名産の茶でも楽しんでいていただこう。
Roger that.
大統領
カリーは獲物を追い立てる犬が必要だからな。
Send in the big man. I have a feeling this isn't going to work.
貴様か。随分と派手に暴れてくれたな。損害請求は誰にすればいい？元老院か、それともバレンタインか。寝たままでは会話もままならない。
Too sleepy to talk. Oh boy, you're about to find out in a minute here. Dang! From one punch?
名付けたアグニテン。
Consecutive normal punches.
Hey, you know, he's doing more than I thought he
Gabriel
would.
tracks down Bedman,
True.
who's startled by the strength of Gabriel's bare hands. He attempts to escape, but Gabriel physically stops him, slamming him to the ground.
Wait, he's actually doing it? I thought he would get owned. But no, the nose knows, man. It gives him power.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like
great.
Simpson's hair. If you cut off his nose, wait.
What?
たわけが逃すわけがなかろう。
He's brought in for questioning, but ultimately to no avail.
歴史上これほど無意味な尋
Strapped
問は
to
類
his
が
bed
ある
with
ま
no
いな。
frame.
But he's sleeping. Like, how are you gonna interrogate him? You can't even wake him up. Like, Potemkin staring at him isn't gonna work. It does nothing.
Kai contacts Leo from Zep and updates him on the situation, then asks for authority to release a special person to help fight the Cradle.
A special person.
Dog. And thighs.
Bedman visits Ramlethal in a dream, explaining that things have not gone according to plan, but he still succeeded in reaching her. He explains that she failed her mission and did not self-destruct, so it's Mother's will that she be erased to stop any further info from being compromised. Ram explains that it's because her and El's powers cancel each other out, but she accepts Mother's decision. She asks if she can take her dog with her as a last request.
Bedman is at boob height with Ramlethal.
I mean, oh, you know, when they say that sleeping more makes you taller, Ben Man is the equivalent of not true. Sleeps a little too much for it to be effective. Satch, bro. Cute puppy
Bedman is
sounds.
startled by this blatant display of emotions and becomes immediately upset with his client upon realization that Ramlethal showed signs of a personality.
なんてことだ。こんな少女を僕に殺せというのか。
What?
Suddenly,
Ben Man's like, you're not just all looks, you actually have a personality? Impossible, now I can't kill you. I love you forever now. God damn it.
hears Sin entering the room and hides. Bedman watches as Sin has a heart-to-heart with Ram to help her understand the new feelings she's experiencing.
綺麗だって思わねえか？
わからない。
それはラムが表現できる言葉を知らないだけだ。この気持ち、この景色も何か難しい言葉とか理屈で説明さ
I
れ
don't
た
think you can understand big
違
words, Sin.
うよ。ラムは道具なんかじゃない。
違う。
Oh! No! What the fuck? Okay, now it's time to die.
How can you do that?
You like this man? My god, Survey.
I don't remember this.
Bro, this is the start of Ram Lethal's John Wick journey. No wonder. Jeez.
Friendship with Bedman ended.
てめえ、いつの間に
Imagine getting sneaked up on by Bedman, though.
Bedman interrupts and drags them both into his dream world. He then decides to teach her the meaning of the word replacement.
犬はすまなかったね。でもこれが一番手っ取り早く分かりやすいと思ったんだ。君にはどうやら感情がある。だから代わりという意味を知るべきだ。
Survey, are you okay? That's one creaky chair.
I don't know why my chair is so creaky. I'm trying to sit still. I don't sit still well.
Apologetically, he kills her magehound puppy, then
What?
creates a new identical one with a summoning spell.
What?
Sorry, I killed your
Why
dog.
did you have
Here's
to
new dog.
do that? What the heck? You could have just taken anything from her. Like, give her a
That's
burger,
so
then take it
messed
from
up.
her or something. Don't kill the dog. I guess this was like the best way to immediately initiate an emotion. Elicit an emotion from her.
It's the
but-
only thing that Bedman knew specifically she was attached to, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. But still, it leaves a bad taste in the mouth, doesn't it? I'll never see Bedman the same way
can't
ever
hurt
again.
The dog.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that's the classic villain trope. If you want your viewers to hate a character, have them kick a dog. Or even worse, kill a dog. Everybody immediately hates you.
Yeah.
Jeez. Like, the moment Dio jumped out of his cart, he immediately did that. And there's like a bunch of villains in comics that immediately do that the moment they get introduced. At least Bedman was like, yeah, I'll continue the tradition. There you go.
And even cat people, right?
Mhm.
You know, you don't hurt the dog.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dog didn't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
When the dog doesn't bite her, she realizes something's wrong.
It's not the same dog.
違う。これじゃない。どうして同じ犬なのに何が違うの？
そうだ。
Aw.
これが代わりということだ。でも君は前の犬が好きだったんだよね。
Where's Faust when you need him?
それぞれ違うの。私も違うの。
ラム。
Bedman goes off on his client, forgiving Valentine's emotions, asking her what the hell she was thinking, then tells her that she can finish the show on her own. She apologizes, admitting fault, and reassures him that he's necessary to complete the absolute world. Bedman accepts her apology. In the Illyrian War Room, Leo introduces President Vernon to Kai's requested help, Dr. Paradigm.
Hey.
Immediately, Paradigm begins a complete analysis of the Cradle events so far. He concludes that first, the Cradle is not only carrying the body of justice, there are other life signs as well. Furthermore, the attack on Babylon was not an attack, but actually a means of transportation. Lastly, the remains of the victims of Babylon left behind gray dust, which is exactly what happens when normal life enters the backyard. But Lyle's unit survived their encounter, due in part to being one of the forces that fought alongside Kai during Baptisma 13. They all received special blessings of protection against magic tuning from the backyard. He concludes that the Cradle is hiding in the backyard, but must reappear in our reality once every 26 hours to come up for air. And that presents the perfect chance to turn the tables.
26 hours,
Vernon
okay.
is thoroughly impressed and remarks that he may have been too quick to judge Kai when he spoke of coexistence with gears. Dr.
Hey.
Paradigm also casually reveals that the Opus units deployed worldwide are mostly gears.
Oh man, I love the president's shocked expression.
What?
Which appropriately panics Vernon and Leo.
次のゆりかごの行き過ぎのタイミングとその出現範囲をある程度絞り込んである。ゆりかごの再出現ポイントを取り囲むように各国の精鋭兵力で包囲網を敷く。出現と同時に包囲網を狭め、一斉に全火力を注ぎ込んで集中砲火を浴びせるのだ。ゆりかごごと中身のジャスティスを粉砕するぞ。
Just realized he only has 2 fingers. 2 fingers and a thumb.
Hey, at least he's got a thumb. That's what you need in order to make tools and become a civilized creature. Yeah. Don't have thumbs.
Together
you're
with a joint
basically
coalition
screwed.
of forces from various nations and Soul Bad Guy,
True.
they plan to intercept the next appearance of the Cradle, projected to be above the
Bro.
northern Black Sea.
You show
They're
up
all
and like
lined up though. You're in your own line of fire.
immediately shoots the next one in the back. It's like, But still, this is really funny. Like, if you show back up and you're like, oh, shit. How'd they know?
With 420 tracking beacons, hundreds of international airships, Dr. Paradigm's secret weapon, and a half-magic, half-black-tech intercontinental ballistic missile named Vagilanda.
Vagilanda? Look at him go! Run! Run! Oh my god!
With Soul Bad Guy riding on top of it.
Yeah, just to seal the deal. Yeah, we have this ballistic missile that'll do the job, but just put Soul Bad Guy on top of it. Yeah, that'll get the job done. Man, I love this series. I love it. I will say until the day that I die, I love every series that is unapologetically awesome. Like, it doesn't concern itself with anything else. Just make it really fucking cool and fun. Just everybody enjoys it.
I didn't even know. I had barely scratched the surface of Guilty Gear, but I knew it was fun.
And hey, add on top of that the incredible music too. Like, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect package.
This is just the story. We're not even talking about like the visuals and the music.
And I'm like, I don't even like fighting games. But just hearing about all of this made me buy Guilty Gear. Like, I'm so excited to play it and learn how to play fighting games now. Oh, damn, dude. Right? Yeah, it's great.
Guilty Gear is the one, like, I'm so bad at fighting games, but I want to be good at Guilty Gear so bad.
Look, sorry, whenever we have the time, we can practice together once we start playing it. Let's finish the lore. We'll do it. We gotta find time.
Yeah. Counterattack operation commences. Suddenly.
Uh-oh.
Bedman appears and wastes no time as he begins destroying tons of beacons in the projected area. Leo attempts to stop him and falls short, but Johnny joins him, and together they're able to stall Bedman for time.
How did Nose take on Bedman so easily?
He was too powerful. The Schnoz was too powerful. Bedman got confused by it.
Yeah.
Faust, with help from the May ship, manages to use his teleporting door to get a backup beacon placed just before the cradle appears.
Wait, he just has a teleporting door? Is Faust just Doraemon in disguise or something? He's got all these gadgets or something under that bag of his?
Maybe.
Maybe. I love this man. Oh, so cool.
Stuck the landing.
Allowing the air fleet to immediately surround it on all sides.
Oh.
Imagine they were like just a little to the left. They went, damn. Not quite.
My OCD is killing me. Ah.
Bearings. Paradigm's secret weapon, That Man, appears before the cradle.
Nani?
久しいね、クロノス。こんな形で再会するなんて残念。
やめか。なぜここに防衛砲撃撃ち落とせ。
He's just that guy. He's him.
Yeah.
無駄だよ。
無駄だ。
ゆりかごには光線を目的とした装備はない。この程度の攻撃で彼を倒すことはできん。だが、それは貴様も同じだ。いかにギアメーカーであろうと。
そうだね。確かに絶対防壁フェリオンは僕の力でもディスペル。
We can destroy it through the power of friendship. That dude is also literally
Smash
him.
cut to the guy riding a missile.
I love how intensely they say it. Soul bad guy. Oh.
It's the right amount of intensity. You can't say it any less than that. It's not right. It doesn't do it justice.
All the classic anime lines. I
After
love
a quick
it.
greeting, that man tells Cronus to not waste any time attacking, and explains that while absolute defense Felion can't be dispelled, it can be destroyed with the force of a spontaneous microverse.
僕を媒介にしてバックヤードから直接引き出す攻撃。フレデリックが繰り出す拳は今、地球上では成し得ない高エネルギーを作り出している。それを僕が質量に変換する。シュバルツシルト半径の限定空間に閉じる。
Yes. Science.
No, not science. We don't do science.
Oh yeah, you're right. Magic. Simple magic.
Soul destroys the cradle's barrier, opening the way for all airships to open fire, vaporizing everything until the only thing left when the smoke clears.
They had to break formation and stagger so they don't shoot each other.
Oh yeah, they did. You're right.
やはり貴様が最悪の敵だ。しかし耐え切ったぞ。我々の勝ちだ。
Is the corpse of Justice, full-sized and stripped of her outrage armor.
Damn. Those are
The
some
tea
massive
room itself is
belongings.
physically located inside her body, and from there, Cronus begins to directly shift her into the backyard. That man moves to stop the escape, but Bedman suddenly jumps between them and teleports that man away.
Oh!
Soul is still recovering from his last attack.
Oh my god. How could you love Bedman, sir? I mean, Bedman comes in and just screws things up for everybody. Oh god. Like,
He's a good villain.
I suppose so. Of course, you love the villains, don't you?
I'm not like Kiwi level, but like.
Oh, I mean, Kiwi's taste in characters is unfathomable. Like, we shouldn't even try to scale that.
That's true. I like a good villain with depth. Is that so wrong?
Yeah, it's not wrong. I enjoy a good villain with depth as well. It's just hard to find them, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But stands to chase after Justice. Alpha flies and pulls him away before he can, explaining that even if he won, it would be a suicide mission to leave him trapped in the backyard. Back in the war room, everyone meets to debrief. Dr. Paradigm considers the operation
it's
a
just
failure.
a Weebs war room. We don't do war, but it'd be cool.
You know, I'll put that in the plans for whenever we have our own base of operations. Just make sure we have a war room, separate from a recording room.
Yeah.
Okay. What the fuck would we even use that for?
You can make it into like a theater room. We could watch anime in there.
I see. Just to rewatch the Guilty Gear lore. Yeah.
Like, I see, Zero. You spent all day in the war room. You must have been watching something good.
And Vernon confirms that Justice looked just the same as she did when he saw her last during the Crusades. Al teaches Ram that it's okay to like yourself.
私の知る限り、それはナルシストといって悲しい生物だと記憶してるけど。
Well, narcissism is different.
それでいいんだよ。
Sol and Kai discuss the effect these recent attacks will have on the people. Kai laments that humanity is still healing scars from the Crusades, and that with magic they were working towards an overall improvement of the human condition. Sol says, yeah, things are stable and people have nice lives. but that comes at the cost of their freedom of choice. Kai asks if he then advocates for anarchy and chaos. Soul says no, but eventually people go from appreciating what you give them to expecting it, and then they get scared of losing it. Is that how we should live? Kai replies that not all people have the strength to stand on their own.
だが今のお前もまた
Actually, this is like the classic argument in Shin Megami Tensei between law and chaos. Literally.
I mean, yeah, true. It's kind of an age-old take. Just how much is too much when it comes to like control? Like how much do you do something for someone versus make them learn to do it themselves?
Yeah, for sure. I think this was also like part of the main conflict in Code Geass as well. I think that's actually like the core of all conflicts. Wait a minute.
I mean, it is a fundamental like counter like conflict. But like you see, yeah, words.
I mean, I always usually side with like the viewpoint of having people be able to stand on their own and decide for themselves how they want their lives to be, even if that may mean that some people just don't make it. But I can understand the viewpoint of people who want everybody to succeed and everybody to survive under a system. But that also limits their potential too. So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say. And like, who has the right to decide that for everybody, you know? Because some people can't survive without the system, and others will die living in a system. But obviously having everybody doing their own thing just achieves nothing. That's tough.
So you get those utopias where it's like everything seems perfect and then it crashes down around you.
I mean, literally, the floating city of Zep, it's a utopia created on the backs of slaves. Well, yeah, you can make it good for some people, but it can't be good for everybody. Therefore, it's technically not a utopia. No matter how you want to lie to yourself, I don't think it's achievable.
The human condition is too varied.
Yeah. You know, if only we were a hive mind, life would be easier. We wouldn't have to think for ourselves, you know? You know, maybe the Conclave, maybe they have the right idea. Just steal away free thought. All these discussions would just end. We'd be okay. Although we wouldn't be human anymore.
That mind, you basically are your hive mind then, yeah.
Yeah. Nani?
真を気遣うお前を見て、それが分かったよ。誰も巻き込みたくない。違うか。
Yeah, that's my character.
キアの血が衝動をかきたてる。何もかも破壊しろと本能が指図してる。
There is that aspect too. It's hard to imagine what characters who are also like half gears or gears themselves think, because they obviously have a very different perspective on things and just how they perceive things. And maybe there's always that like tug or instinct to do something, or the call from justice or whatever. Like all the other gears were controlled by that. Or, you know, like how Sin's like a wee lad, a wee baby in human years, but, you know, he's actually a fully grown adult because he's a gear and whatnot. Yeah. I wonder, as a writer, how you would try to make those characters feel real while keeping them true to their lore, and just try to put yourselves in their shoes and write from their perspective. That's interesting. I
feel like they do a pretty good job with Sin, because he's mature in one aspect, but also very still kind of idealistic and carefree in another aspect.
I guess in this instance, they were like, yeah, he's a new shonen protagonist. I guess in that aspect, it's not too difficult, but still. Yeah. I just think it's an interesting concept to think about whenever you're trying to write a character that, you know, isn't human, or especially characters that are like omniscient, but can't reveal things, can't reveal everything.
Eventually, with Ramlethal's help, the group discerns based on the date that the Conclave plans to harness St. Elmo's fire, the massive lightning bolt at Illyria Castle to channel enough energy into Justice to bind Cronus' soul to her vessel. Leo calls for a full evacuation of the city surrounding the castle, leaving only the Opus units behind. Paradigm proposes a plan. Amplify the energy from St. Elmo's fire and overload Justice and the Conclave. Coincidentally, Dizzy, free from the Thunder Seal, reunites with Sin and Kai for the first time in 2 years.
Nice.
もっと素敵な再会ができたらよかったのですけど。髪の毛、ずいぶんと伸びましたね。
ええ、ここのところ切っても切ってもすぐに伸びるようになってしまって。
That is what hair does, yeah.
2年前から80センチは伸びたからな。
3 feet?
気になって。こっちへ来て。
Oh my god, Dizzy can't even hold you anymore.
俺たちは絶対この危機を乗り越える。これが最後なんだよ。
Oh, Sin, just accept the hug from your mother.
母さんは絶対に俺が守る。だから今はカイ。母さん、今この時は甘えてくれ。
Oh, I called him dad.
父さんに。
Shin.
As the time draws near, Cronus, Axis, and Libraria share a final moment to reaffirm their resolve. Knowing they won't meet again, they vow to reunite in the next life and share some tea with Baldius.
Yes, Baldius! This poor guy. He had like such an epic design too, and then he was relegated to a pachinko machine. Rest in peace, my dude. Nobody else will ever experience you apart from these videos.
来世で。
Commencing the operation, Justice appears above the west tower of Illyria Castle and connects energy tendrils to the lightning rod.
That's
Cronus
fine.
preemptively begins the soul-binding process, allowing him to command the gear cell-based Opus units to attack the castle plaza.
It's the most hardcore DNA
Kai
I've
and
ever
Leo
seen.
reminisce about the old days on the battlefield and intercept the Opus army on the ground level. With reinforcements from Sin
They
and
didn't
Elfeld,
realize that these guys were
wielding her
part
Cypress
gear.
project.
They literally said that they were gears, but I guess they didn't think that Justice would be able to take control of them for whatever reason. But yeah. Because they specifically stated to leave the Opuses behind. I'm assuming to help them in the defense, but I guess that didn't really work out, did it?
Like, they look very gear. I don't know how you would not know that they're gears.
They're humanoid, therefore they're not gears. Even though there have been humanoid gears and Soul Bad Guy exists, literally.
Reinforcements from Sin and Elfeld, wielding her Cypress project magic weapons.
Hey!
Eventually they get split up, and while Kai is distracted,
Bakana. Rip Kai. We never see him again. Bro, Axis casted gun. That's not fair.
I mean, that's what Elfelt was doing.
Fair. It pains you to kill me? That doesn't even make any sense. I'm the one in pain.
君のような人物はどんな脅威になるかわからない。悪いが、人類の未来のため
Nothing personal, kid.
Axis executes Kai point blank with a fifth shot, holding a black tech revolver. But as he turns to walk away,
It's anime power-up time.
I can't just kill a shonen protagonist like that.
He's gonna tie up his hair and his power level is gonna increase to 9,000.
君は確かに死んだ。そうなるように言ったのだ。
国民は私が言うような青臭い理想論を実現できるなどと信じていない。私に託された期待は正しい政治ではない。だがたとえどんな暴力が現れようと私ならばそれに屈しない。そう信じてくれているんだ。
One of his eyes goes crimson red. Axis, confused by Kai's new gear-like power, staggers backwards as Kai destroys him in a single blow.
Oof. The power of heterochromia.
The strongest power.
Especially when it comes to anime. Dead. This awesome power contained within my eye. So how did this happen?
Becoming a Chunin.
So was it because he banged Dizzy that he now has a little bit of gear power, or I guess he just always had it in him. He had that dog in him.
It's called mana transfer 0.
Okay, ever since we did these skill to gear reactions, have we made a Fate Stay Night reference yet, or was that the first one?
I don't know, I don't remember.
Of course you don't. But you know
I made
what?
the same joke twice, so what do I remember?
I can't deny it, the logic tracks. We'll get an explanation later, probably.
As St. Elmo's fire strikes the tower, Justice comes alive.
The power sucked into the
It's
boobies.
kind of like if you took the Xenomorph but made it more
From his
woman.
I can see that. I can see what you're talking about. Yeah.
nerve center, Kronos proclaims victory.
ついに我々の勝利だ。見ているか、慈悲なき刑事よ。見ているか、ギアメーカーよ。貴様たちの要求はこれで満たされる。我々の手によってな。そして貴様らが何を考えよう。我々はもはや何者にも屈しない力を手に入れ
Sound
る。
ridiculous.
Dizzy charges and fires a gamma ray into the already charged electric conductor, causing a massive energy overload.
Oh boy. This is Dizzy's power we're talking about, too. That's not gonna be good. That's a power that can destroy the entire world. It's, yeah.
As Justice begins to malfunction, Libraria returns to Kronos, saying that this loss is retribution they deserve.
What?
Kronos tells her to go find the Gearmaker, as only he can preserve the future of humanity now. Libraria refuses, saying that that should be Kronos' duty, and that she wishes they talked more. She then casts a spell, teleporting him away.
Does Liberia have a crush on Kronos or something? Like, what's going on here?
While Justice is weakened, Soul attacks from atop the tower, landing a critical strike that detonates her core.
Very powerful, the most powerful boot.
She doubles over, collapsing the castle tower as she falls.
What's really what happened?
Hours later, the sun rises as everyone recovers from the rubble. They all appear to be alright, though Dizzy has passed out from exhaustion. Suddenly, as Sin finds L, she attacks him.
ジャスティスの覚醒によって私のミッションは達成されました。
やっぱりこういうことかよ。
With a cold, emotionless demeanor, Elfelt says that her job was to monitor Soul to make sure he didn't destroy Justice and to ensure that he didn't wake up. Her true mission was even concealed from her own self until now. Sin is in disbelief, but Soul sees this as just another betrayal. He says that all
Soul is so jaded to all of this. He's like, yeah, another one? Okay, just check that off the list of another person I need to beat the shit out of. Yeah.
all the Valentines had emotions, even if they claimed not to, and that there's clearly a boundary separating the current Elfelt from the one they know. He demands that she bring her back.
Yeah, let's go. He would have just attacked her previously, I think.
Oh, yeah, true.
私は主としての命令に逆らうことができない。エルフェルト・バレンタイン。出来損ないの人形ども。
But then she resists. Or maybe not.
Elfelt goes into attack mode, casting her Rain of Judgment.
Oh.
But Soul closes the distance, destroying her summoned
In
attack
one
apparatus.
strike?
From Bedman's dream, he and his client observe the situation with satisfaction and initiate a sequence that teleports the corpse of Justice away.
Well, I'll bring that back again.
Yeah, we'll never see her again, I'm sure.
Soul approaches Elfelt, but is stopped by her barrier. Absolute defense failure. Nonetheless, Soul keeps punching at the barrier, demanding that the inner L prove her words that people shouldn't be alone. Words that echo those of Arya. For a moment,
Well,
his words
yeah, you can't forget that for Soul, like, this is also personal, especially because she's kind of Arya and also looks basically like her. Just a little bit different, but of course, like, it's going to remind him of her. So yeah, I get it.
get through, and the old Elfelt emerges, apologizing that she can't fight Mother's will. In her brief moment of clarity, she apologizes and begins a self-destruct sequence.
こんなことなら私は道具として生まれてきたかった。こんなことなら感情なんてなければよかったのに。
But just as she does, it's stopped by Ramlothal.
Oh, hey!
これは大事なもの。
Best girl here to save the day.
私の方がそれを知っている。母さんは間違ってる。
There you go. The people you save you in turn.
深夜は私にとって違うなんだ。だから必ず。
Okay, look. Can we see this as Bedman doing a good thing then? Because she learned all about this because of the doggo incident.
I mean, even I understand why Bedman did it, and that all makes sense. It's still sad, and he's still a bad guy.
Oh, yeah, the doggo's still dead, though. This is so sad.
Hopefully, new doggo is good doggo. But it's a doggo, so of course it's good doggo.
Yeah, obviously.
It's just different doggo.
As Elfelt vanishes, Soul immediately starts walking away.
A bunch of touchy-feely bullshit. This man has no time for tears.
No.
He's like, all of these touchy-feely feelings that I'm feeling, I'm gonna channel into my fist to punch something really, really hard so that these emotions go away. That's how this guy deals with his emotions. And honestly, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I mean, it's already been pre-established too with that conversation between Sol and Arya of like the different ways that they would go about doing things. So yeah, it just makes too much sense for him.
Yep.
Elsewhere, in the rubble of the central organ tower, Cronus survives alone. As he takes a step, Faust appears behind him, asking where he plans to go now. There are many questions to be answered, in particular, what he planned to do with the Japanese colonies.
Oh yeah, the placebo.
Cronus tells Faust that he can carry about whatever revenge he wishes, and that he has no idea what colony situation is being referred to.
Oh. Get him, Faust.
いや、本当にわからない。ジャパニーズコロニーに関しては適切な医療措置を行っているに過ぎない。
If the Conclave was not orchestrating the mysterious events in the Japanese colonies, then those orders must have come from someone with even more authority. But who could possibly have more influence than the leader of the Conclave?
Who could have foreseen this? This client shrouded in light. And looks like that's it. Hot damn. These videos are always so good, man. I enjoyed this one a lot. I think I've enjoyed every single one so far. The lore is so fun, man.
Definitely. This one's just fun because now that we're at Xrd, we can watch more just like cutscenes with it.
Oh yeah, and not have to see like some camera footage from a pachinko machine. Yeah, I agree. But anyways, my dudes, thank you all so much for joining us. Hope you guys enjoy this as much as we did, and hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Later, dudes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.